It's hard to believe that Jaguar has waited this long to enter the luxury crossover market, and in their illustrious career, can't believe that they've never built one, but they've saved the best for last. This is the 2017 Jaguar F-Pace Performance SUV, and it's sure to put the segment on notice, including the Porsche Macan. Under the hood of the F-Pace, you have three engine options. The base engine is actually a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel producing 180 horsepower. It's really designed for people who want a little more torque but also get great fuel economy. The primary engines are going to be a 3-liter supercharged V6, a pair of those. The 35T model is going to have a 340 horsepower version, whereas the S model shown here has a 380 horsepower version, really designed to target after the Macan and Macan S. Jaguar decided to call their first ever crossover the F-Pace, and I think a lot of that has to do with the inspiration from the F-Type, which is their sports car. Typically, sports cars and crossovers don't have anything in common, but there's a lot in common with these two vehicles, including these taillights, for example, and just the roof line. This car just looks sporty when it's standing still, and when you get behind the wheel, it doesn't disappoint. I believe the Jaguar has positioned the F-Pace in a perfect spot for the luxury crossover segment. When you look at everything in that segment, and by that segment I mean 2-row, kind of more compact size luxury crossovers like the Macan, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW X3, just to name a few. So one thing about that segment is if you want something sporty, you almost have to go Macan, and Macan is pretty pricey. You do have the SQ5 from Audi, but that's essentially a sibling vehicle to the Macan. The rest of the vehicles, in my opinion, are geared more towards the luxury side. So there has to be a spot available for people who want something sporty and don't want to spend the Porsche bucks. This is it. With a starting price of $40,900, I think the F-Pace is not only going to be the best-selling model for Jaguar, I think it's going to outsell all the other models combined. Okay, so let's talk about what we like and don't like about this F-Pace. Love the price, love the engine options. I think they've really appealed to those looking for great fuel economy or those looking for great performance. We've been driving both, and obviously the one with the 380 horsepower, the S, is the one to get. But it's going to cost you a pretty penny, around $60,000. So they have an all-new infotainment system, and you would think that their top of the line would also have the larger monitor, the 10.2 inch, but instead we get the 8 inch with buttons on the side. Don't really like it. After spending a lot of time with the larger one, I think that's the one to get, but not a deal breaker. This one also seems to behave a little slower reaction time, and that's something that's plagued Jaguars in the past. They told us this processor is supposed to be a lot faster. It's an Intel quad core and has 60 gigabytes of storage. At least that's the upgraded system. Not sure about this base system. Nevertheless, they've done a great job. I like the analog gauges, staying true to their Jaguar sports car heritage, but you have plenty of TFT real estate to provide you a lot of valuable information. We have the panoramic sunroof. Not really something I would opt for, but you pretty much have to offer that nowadays, especially in the luxury segment. Overall, the steering is really dialed in, and great throttle response. Love the ZF transmission. They really mated it well to this engine, and you get much better exhaust notes than you do in other vehicles in the segment, Porsche aside. Obviously, the Macan is the kind of king of the segment when it comes to enthusiasts, but this really offers kind of the best of both worlds, and it lets you stand out from the crowd a little bit in the sense that you don't have to get what everybody else is getting. You know, if you want to be a little bit different, I think Jaguar is a brand that lets you do that. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about reliability, Ron? Well, I'll tell you, they have an all-new warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles. Most vehicles in this segment, 4-year, 50,000 miles. But you also get prepaid maintenance during that entire time. So I say that Jaguar is really standing behind their product. They know that this is something that has plagued them in the past. They've addressed the issues, but the perception is still there. And I think now with this better warranty, that should satisfy most owners if you're on the fence of considering buying one. From a design standpoint, I think this thing is brilliant looking. It really stays true to the Jaguar brand. looks aggressive even when standing still. You have a lot of color options and wheel options. We saw a dark gray with black wheels, really has that kind of stealth look to it. So if you want to go that way, you can. But there are also plenty of bright colors, reds and whites, and any color you choose. I think this thing looks good. There's even a British racing green. I really like the attention to detail as far as the fit and finish of this F-Pace. They know that they're very late to the game and they had to bring it, and they really did. Everything about this vehicle, the materials feels very premium. The seats are extremely comfortable. You have plenty of room. This is, after all, a utility vehicle, and it definitely delivers in that regard. One of the common complaints of past Jaguar Land Rover products is the infotainment screen. There's a new infotainment screen called In-Control Touch and In-Control Touch Pro. This is the better one, which has the 10.2-inch screen versus the 8. We've really enjoyed it in both vehicles, the XE and the F-Pace, but now we're in a situation where it's completely frozen. We're in the audio section and can't change channels, can't get any volume. We can turn it on and we can turn it off, but we don't know what's going on. Nevertheless, this proves that they still have some work to do on their infotainment system. I'd like to see them get to an Apple CarPlay and Android Auto system. Well, there you have it, the 2017 Jaguar F-Pace. It's rare that a new vehicle lives up to my expectations. This one did. I think it's going to make a real dent in the segment and really push the Macan for the value proposition over the other models like Mercedes and BMW. I'm Ron Doron. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.